What's going on, everybody? Animus here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Paragon. Yes, I know. You're probably asking yourself right now, Animus, you always talk about Paragon. What the fuck are you talking about right now? But in all seriousness, I want to talk about the problems, the issues that Paragon is currently having, or at least in my eyes, that I am seeing in games. I want to talk about these things because they are a little bit bugging. And first of all, I'm not going to pull a hole in my opinion gaming. I'm not gonna stop playing Paragon. I invested a lot of time. I love this game. I invested a lot into this game, and I love the path that Epic is taking with it. There are just a couple issues that I see that are really kind of bugging me a little bit. So sit back and relax. First of all, there's a support Kalari right there. JK, they wanted to do support Kalari, but no, not in my games, alright? So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the community. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, I'm not talking about anybody specific. I just wanted to address some things in the community that I see wrong, and I want to try and fix. Things like toxicity. Now, Epic has been going in the right steps to fix toxicity, and I really appreciate it. But honestly, guys, just stop being toxic. People have bad games. People don't really understand the concept of a MOBA yet. Like, this might be their first MOBA. It's my first MOBA. So stop being toxic. Instead of being toxic, teach them. Try to teach them the ways. Like, instead of being toxic, be like, hey, man, like, I just want to give you a heads up. You're out of position. Try this next time. Or, you know, instead of building a freaking Pendulum of Lords on Twin Blast, why don't you try building a Wind Carver? How about that? Another thing is, like I was saying, people may not grasp the concept of a MOBA. And that's understandable. It's not their fault, though. Epic's matchmaking is pretty bad, and with unranked, you're getting people that may not be on your skill level. So Epic, we just either need a better matchmaking or a ranked version soon, because I have been seeing a lot of people that just don't grasp the concept of a MOBA, or don't grasp the concept of each character in the game, each hero. Because each hero plays a lot differently in this game. One more thing about the community. Like I've been saying, it's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming any specific person, anything at all. I want to branch out. I want to say, hey, Epic, let's give better tutorials on not just the concept of the game, but each individual hero. So now one more thing about the game, and you may call me a hypocrite, but I have an excuse, all right? People don't grasp the concept of a building for their immediate role. Now, I understand if you want to do something stupid like off lane decker, because I've done it, or all attack speed carries. I've done that too. But when I play with a decker that builds all crit, something's not right. If I play with a Gideon with all attack speed, there is something wrong, and I am not blaming that person. I understand where they coming from. If you watch my first Paragon video, I've built attack speed on Gideon. But I blame Epic for not properly teaching those people how to build properly for their immediate roles. So overall, though, the community in this game is pretty good. I love it. There's a lot of support from the quote-unquote higher elo players. Do a lot of streams. They have freaking websites from teams that have builds, strategies, that sort of thing, and that's the things I like. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is, and I've noticed this the past few updates and the past few hero reveals, is that the new heroes in Paragon outweigh the old heroes in terms of balance. Does that make sense to you guys? It makes sense to me, but like, alright, so let's take Twin Blast for example. So Twin Blast, his scaling is, I'll explain his scaling and go over another hero. So, Twin Blast's scaling is at 0.8. His autos are at 0.8. No attack speed per level because he does have that triple shot, that rapid fire, and it does 45% of your basic damage in each shot, which is pretty good. I don't think that's a reason not to give him any attack speed per level, but you know, that's just me. Everything else is fairly balanced with Twin Blast. His ventilate scales at a 3, but you have to hit every shot for it to be able to count. So let's take a look at the newest carry, Revenant, that came to the game a few weeks ago. So he also scales at a 0.8, but he does have to reload, you know, so that's alright. His fourth shot, his Hellfire round, scales at a 0.5, but that can do upwards to 100 damage, bonus damage, on the 4th shot. That's not including the damage that you build in. So that's really good. But the thing I want to look at is his Obliterate. Now, his Obliterate scales at a 1.4. Now, 1.4. Just think about that. 1.4. So, if you can land all 10 shots, it's saying here that it does a total of 360 damage. But late game, on my ability pen and damage build, no crits, all damage and ability pen, I can hit upwards to 800 damage. And that's not including my Scar, which can do 6 instances of extra damage. That can be extra 150 damage. So if you think about it, you literally don't need your hand cannon. You don't need your autos. All you have to do is Scar somebody and then obliterate them and they're fucking dead. Now, how does that make sense? The only thing that scales higher than his Obliterate in this game, besides Twin Blast's Ventilate, which you do have to hit all 30 shots on it, is Iggy's turrets. But yet again, that's damage over time there. You have to have somebody standing in that turret for freaking 10 seconds. Gideon's Rock scales at a 1.25, just like any other caster's main burst damage. So I don't really get why the fuck Epic put a scaling of 1.4 on his Obliterate. Now, that's enough about Revenant. I think Revenant's completely broken, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. The next hero I want to talk about is FaZe. Now, I personally fucking hate FaZe. She's a nuisance as shit. So this just might be me. I'm not gonna lie. It might just be me, but I don't get why her slow/root is so fucking long, man. Like, I do understand that she is technically a backline support. With that being said, her backline should not be able to reach our backline and root somebody. I think that's completely busted there. People disagree. I've talked to some friends about that, so people disagree about me, but I think that's fucking stupid. So this just goes back to the community and people not grasping the concept of each individual hero. In team fights now, she is a primary target. Instead of their carry, go for her because she can't give that carry health regen, she can't alter, that sort of thing. So go for her in team fights, but people don't grasp that concept. What the fuck is this person doing here? So enough about the slow and root. Let's talk about the blind. Now the blind is the second longest CC in the game besides Kwang's tether. Now Kwang's tether can go up to 3.25 seconds and fucking her blind is 3 seconds late game. But honestly, when you're blinded, you can't do anything. It's worse than being tethered because at least you can know what to counter and what to do. So that's my opinion on that blind. I think it's way too long and way too OP for that, especially if you can get it twice, one on the tether and one on her itself. That's just me personally. Let me know how you think about her kit in the comments below. If you do watch the live stream of the developer live stream on her, they said that her root and her slow was actually gonna be her ultimate, but they felt that they wanted to use it more. So come on, you should have fixed it. So they're releasing these game-changing new heroes, but they're not giving any love to the old ones. Like, Richter still isn't the best, and Iggy is downright unplayable. And I honestly hate the new fucking passives that Murdoch has. I think they're horrible. I really think they're horrible. So, enough about the heroes. Let's talk about the economy in Paragon. So, there are four main ways to get CP in Paragon. So last hitting, either minion kills or kills, you have your gold buffs, you have jungle, which your harvester deletes every 2 minutes, and then you have raptors. So let's theorize for a second. Alright, so raptors give you an extra 650 CP per raptor. So let's theorize this for a second. So late game, alright, say you're Revenant, you're fucking about to, you're posturing around raptors here, about to take them. You get a huge team fight, and you ult somebody and get a kill, alright? You ult somebody and get a kill late game. So that's an extra 1000 CP when you ult somebody as Rev, plus 3 raptors of 650 CP. If people can't do math, because I can't either, I had to pull out the calculator on the phone, that's 2050 CP. That is 2 card points. Plus an extra 50 for, you know, pocket change. So if you have a Revenant that can snowball that fast, what the fuck is wrong with you, Epic? How did that become fair? Even if you have a Yin or a fucking Sparrow that can snowball that fast, how does that make the game enjoyable? I want to meet the person who said in a fucking Epic meeting that said, hey guys, we need a better objective in this game, so let's fucking give Raptors. Let's give fucking 2 or 3 card points to the carry. Honestly, I know in every MOBA there's some kind of economy booster that's an objective-based goal for your team. But honestly, what the fuck, Epic? You're making snowballing so much easier in what? Shorter game time? Like, make the game more enjoyable. Make it more efficient instead of giving extra CP for the team that is on comms. Like, make it something that a normal solo queue can do. So I was thinking you can put either a damage buff, a damage to structures buff, or an attack speed buff there to give you an advantage over the enemy team. It will give you a little bit of CP, but it'll also give you that huge advantage to push an objective. Another concept that my buddy Will had is a neutral Amber Link. So an Amber Link that the teams can fight over to give you a little bit more CP. And if you can control that, you can control the game a little bit better, but it won't give you that huge lead. But I honestly really think that Raptors are broken. I really think that snowballing effect that Epic so loves is just so stupid. I really hate it. Like, it's good to be on that team, but it's also really bad and really horrible when you have to fight a carry that is level 60 and you're level 48. One more thing I do want to talk about is tower damage. Now, everybody can relate to tower damage. I feel like that is an important topic that everybody's been talking about, but towers don't do shit. Everybody realizes that. So what can Epic do to fix towers? Now, if you buff towers too much, then the game time will go up. So how do you fix tower diving in the early games? Now, I've been fucking tower dived by everybody. I've been tower dived by a fucking Bellico with fucking 5 CP, alright? Like, I've been tower dived by everybody. So, how do you fix this? So, I like how they have the shield in there when no minions are in the tower. So that's understandable. I like that. Another thing they could do is, if there's no minions in the tower, or if you're getting aggroed, do more damage to them instead of minions. If you're taking tower aggro, the tower's going to hit harder on you than it would a regular minion. Possibly more attack speed on that hero that is taking aggro, and maybe even apply a micro slow so it's harder to tower dive. Those are just different options that Epic can take without extending the game lengths as much. I just feel like tower diving is crazy. Like, after this play here, this Revenant tower dives me and I fucking die. I know, it's crazy, right? Let's talk about Revenant's ult for a second, alright? So, say if he ults me right now, and he takes me into the Nether Realm, I can still get CC'd by Narbash, I can still get thunked by Narbash, and all in a while, I can't do shit about it. So, how does Epic fix that? Now, I know they take remnants of them into the Nether Realm, but really, like, Epic, like, I shouldn't be able to get CC'd by anybody else on their team while I'm getting ulted by Revenant, and I can't see them. So that just goes back to the balance of new heroes compared to the old ones. Now, Yin can counter Revenant pretty good, but all in the same, like, there's not a whole lot I can do. So those are the problems that I see in Paragon right now. The economy, I think, is completely broken. I love what they did to the gold buffs, but yet again, there are still problems that they have to face. Like fucking Raptors. I completely hate Raptors. I just hate them so much. But let me know if you are facing any more issues on the game itself, or is it just me? Am I just going crazy? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my rant about Paragon. I still love this game. I'm not going to pull an in my opinion game and just stop playing. I promise you guys. So thanks again, guys. I love you all, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye. Woo.